I just won't tolerate it is when a guy will ask you out on a date and you say yes and he pays for the whole thing and then he thinks that you're like that I have the obligation to give him something in return. Like just because you
Yeah.
asked me out on a date just because you paid for it doesn't mean I owe you anything. Like I don't actually owe you anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. All right. No. But you. Okay. I would say this. Do you know why men think like that?
I don't know. I think it probably has to do with the way like their mindset about just pursuing like this connection in the first place because men have a lot of intentions. Some of
Yeah.
them are not always good intentions
Yeah.
for you as the woman.
Yeah.
Um yeah, like I feel like in the stories I've heard like most men that tend to act like that view this connection as something not serious but and super short term and only sexual.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the reason why you have these conversations about like your intentions, like what you want out of this connection. And I think that's so important. And it's to, avoid like any confrontation like that.
Yeah. I would say this like when it comes to like I guess like when it comes to a relationship and pursuing somebody, I think the reason why a lot of men feel like that is just and like I said, you shouldn't expect sex, right? I don't think you should expect sex, but you should expect some kind of like um some kind of attention or from the woman, right? Because a lot of times there are a lot of guys out there that there's a lot of girls out there that they go on dates with the intention that they're like they don't want they're just going for the free meal, right? And you've seen this on social media, girls like
Mm-hmm.
making fun of men or making videos about this. But there's a lot of women that go out there and then they say yes, but they already made the decision in my mind, like I don't like this guy at all. I'm just gonna go for a free meal. I'm just gonna take this free meal. I'm gonna waste his time, waste his investment, waste his money, and then dip. Right. So that's why for a lot of guys, especially modern day dating, it's like, okay, the investment I'm gonna put into the date is I'm gonna pay for the date. I'm gonna give you my time. I'm gonna take you out. I'm take care of the transportation and the location and the planning of the food of the place we're gonna eat. All I want is like your all I want is your attention and give me some kind of like some kind of emotional or attention to let me know that you're serious, right? What if it's well, it can be sex can be one,
Mm-hmm.
or just have a letting them know, hey, I like you, or responding after the text, thank you after the day, just hey, thank you so much, I really appreciate everything. So I think I think that because of today's age, a lot of times we don't because people are not communicating no more. They don't, we don't know what the intentions of the other person are. That's why it's gotten to a point for a lot of guys like, okay, I've been taking these girls out on a date and none of these girls are giving me sex, or none of these girls give me any kind of sexual or just emotional or any kind of physical attention to me to show me that I'm not wasting my time, I'm not wasting my resources. So I think that's for a lot of guys, that's why they see it that way. So I'm not saying you have to primarily give them sex, but just give them like show them whether it's verbally, non-verbally, physically, non-physical, or emotional, to say that hey, I appreciate your time, appreciate this date, so that way they know that they're not wasting their time. But I do know there's a lot of
Right.
women out there that just take guys and use their money, take them out shopping and do all this and this and this, and then but they're having sex with another person or they're giving their time to another guy and then just using this guy for his time and finances. So
Yeah, but then I'll also make that argument that there are a lot of men out here that do take advantage of women and will seduce them, right? Emotionally, physically.
yeah,
And I don't know, when things start to get at that comfortable stage, that's when men dip out. I'm like, oh, like I didn't want
yeah,
this. And I'm like, that I have a problem with. Like, and it goes both ways too. Don't get me wrong, it goes both ways. But like state your intentions in the beginning. Like it can seem like really intimidating to do that. But like I
yeah,
feel like within the first 3 dates, you should already know how this connection is gonna go or where you want it to go and make it explicitly clear. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Um,
But that's the problem. Like it's a lot of people know there's a lot of bad people out there. That's the problem. A lot of Yeah, so you have to figure out, you have to filter out who's a good person, who's a bad people, who's the people
Yeah.
that show me commitment, who's a person that show me time, show me good time. But I think for both sides, I think for both sides, both sides should reciprocate something um, from the relationship or from the first date. Like if a
Right.
man if a man is investing his time and his finances and resources into the first date, then a woman should invest something, right? And at least,
Um, so it's the first date. I don't really
well,
think
I'm
much
not
of the
well,
first date.
well, I'm
Yeah.
not well, I'm not saying I'm not saying like give sex, right? But there should be like she should let him know, give him something, like whatever it's just I don't know, you give me just a hug, give me a kiss, or for a lot of women they don't do anything for men
Yeah,
to
I
see.
mean, I believe it shouldn't be physical at all. Like, obviously, right, if you're going on a first date with someone and it's going really well,
Hmm.
I don't think either side would want to like potentially mess that up by making it awkward physically. So,
Yeah,
like, I feel like just being on the date itself is giving you're both giving each other time and attention because you both cleared time out of your day to go to that
yeah,
date.
yeah,
And I think that's enough for the first date. I believe like if the first kiss does happen on the first date, it should be like consented to on both sides.
hmm,
Um, but yeah. I
yeah,
actually saw I actually saw this video on TikTok and it was like um someone was saying like, oh, if he's a good guy, like he won't really try to do anything physical with you, or if he like really likes you and respects you, he won't try to do anything physical with you like very early on, and it's because he's probably scared of you and he doesn't want to mess this connection up with you.
hmm,
And I'm like, I find that very true. Like for the most part with like stories I've heard from friends, the guys um that are respectful and do respect women
hmm.
usually tend to not like be super physical like with the first, I don't know, 3 dates. But yeah, that's different though if it was like like a friends with benefits situation and you were
Yeah,
only in it just for sexual reasons. That's different.
yeah,
But yeah.
yeah. I think the problems with modern day dating is um it's hard for men to see if a woman is committed, right?
Right.
Because it's easy for men to show, it's easy for a woman to see that a man is interested because he initiates. If a man initiates, asks you out, willing to take time out of his day, willing to pay his own money, the way we show commitment is very physical. So that's why it's easy. Okay, the guy is serious about me. He's the one that asked me out. He's the one that willing to pay. So you can tell that okay, this guy's interested. But the problem with a lot of men is how can we tell if she's interested? Because and that's the problem today is like you go on
You
her with
just
a date,
ask, like you
huh?
just ask. Just ask, like, are you into me or are you not into me? That's what you do. It's
Oh yeah, yeah, I
communication.
know, but what I'm saying is a lot of, but like I said, but that's the perfect world. But like I said, a lot of times people don't want to be forward like that. Hey, do you like me or do
No, that's
people?
like I think I have so much frustration with this too because like when it really comes down to it, right? Problems in relationships, whether they be serious or not super serious or just very early on,
Oh yeah,
they stem to lack of communication, lack of effective communication. And it's really
yeah,
you just have to talk about it. It can seem scary, but you just have to do it.
yeah. Well, the thing is like I would say is like for me, actions mean more than words, right? Because a lot of women would say, "Yeah, I like you," for the purpose of getting a free meal, right? So like for a lot, because women would say, men would like we all know men will say anything for sex, but then women will say anything just to get a free meal from a guy or get some kind of financial resources from a guy. So and that's a dilemma for a lot of men, right? There's okay, how do I know if this woman's really serious? Based, not based on words, but based on actions. For men, you can based on his actions. If he's willing to pay out his own money, willing to take you out, willing to pay for transportation, based on those actions, you can tell. Okay, he's not. Okay, he is interested in me in some form, some degree. But then the problem with a lot of men is, how can I tell if there's a woman is serious or not? Not based on words, because words we can just say anything we want to say. Actions mean more. So that's why from the male perspective, if that's why a lot of guys like, okay, if she's not willing to show me kind of sexual attention or maybe sexual attention or sex, a lot of guys like, that's how I know for sure she's not wasting my time, because women will only give sexual attention or sex to men that they really, really, really like. If you really, really like a guy, you're gonna give sexual energy and attention to him to know that you're physically, sexually attracted to him. But women are not showing you sexual attention, or any kind of sex, or don't want to have sex with you, then for a lot of guys are dead in the dark. So they're like, okay, I don't know if this woman likes me, she likes me a lot. Am I wasting my time? So that's why you see it for a lot of men. That's why I say, like, if that's why they would say, okay, if she's not giving me sex, I'm wasting my time, right? So that's why, because like I said,
I mean,
because
yeah, I could see that.
yeah,
Sorry to interrupt you,
no,
but
go ahead.
like, that's not a very effective way of how to like see things, because you never know, like, if a woman has like past sexual trauma, of course she's not going to open up to you sexually.
Yeah,
that's just the case. Like, she's not comfortable with you yet to do that. And until you earn her trust and respect, like, maybe then she'll think about it.
Oh yeah. Well, like I said, I'm not saying like we go there and kiss and make out and it'd be like, lovey-dovey and then hands all over one another per se. All I'm saying is, like, when you go with somebody you really, really like, you can tell the physical attraction and somebody likes you, and between a man and a woman, right? You can tell this. So something, when you go with a girl you really, really like, she tells you, you can tell that you just feel it. And
and obviously she'll tell you, like, she'll make that known. Like, women, we're very like, when it comes to like claiming like our things, or like people that are like claiming like our energy and love to people we care about, we make that very known. So it's like, like, if you'll know she likes you if she tells you, and shows you too.
And also I would say is, like, there's a lot of women out there, modern day women out there, that they don't feel entitled to show anything or give anything, reciprocate anything back to the men. So they're, in their mind, they're like, okay, he's gonna give me money, he's gonna take me out, he's gonna take me on a date, pay for everything. I'm not entitled to give him anything. I'm not entitled to give him any kind of attention, give him any kind of reciprocation at all. Because, like, it's just because sometimes a lot of women, I've seen this with a lot of women, like, and you see on social media trending, they'll be like, you know what, you're the man, you asked me how you pay the date, I shouldn't have to give you anything. And that's why for a lot of men, that's why they think that way, because they do see that there are a lot of women who are very into. There's some women out there that understand that, reciprocation. Okay, if this guy's willing to take my time out his day, you know what, I should we have a conversation with him. I should tell him, you know what, you're handsome, I like you, because they want to reciprocate that to him, right? And there's a lot of good women like that, but there's a lot of modern women today that are very entitled, like, they're like, you taking me out, you're not entitled to me to do anything for you, even though that guy is willing to take out time his day to do it, to take you out and pay for you, but they don't feel any kind of responsibility to reciprocate that back to him. And that's why a lot of guys think that way, because they know a lot of women out there. So that's why a lot of guys are like, hey, if you're gonna give me my sex, I'm not even I'm not paying for the date unless you show me that I'm gonna get something out of this. And then, so that's why I say, that's why a lot of guys do see it that way. It's just all about reciprocation. That's what I believe. If the man reciprocates, if man's doing this, I do believe for the woman, she should reciprocate it, to make sure that, to let the man know that you're not wasting his time, and he's not wasting his money, right? Because if the relationship ends, if you guys walk away from it, all the woman did was give up her time, right? And then all the man gave up the time as well, but he also gave up money as well, right? So that's why I think it's important for both sides to show reciprocation. But I do realize there's a lot of modern women today, they don't feel like they have to show him anything at all, or tell him anything to let him know, like, where's this going? I'm serious. I like you. Because in their mind, they're like, no, you came to me. You're not entitled to anything. That's just my experience of what I've seen so far. Yeah. Do you know women like that or no?
I mean, I kind of agree. Because now, right, women, we're in a special place right now where we can really literally do anything we want in terms of like pursuing a career
Mhm.
and supporting ourselves. And I think being independent in that way, it makes us realize like, oh, like the people I want in my life are there because I want them to be there. And they add value, right, to my
Okay.
life because I chose them, or like I welcome them into my life in that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think, I mean, just because like for me, like if like I went on a date, if I was still single and I went on a date with a guy and he insisted that he pay for the whole thing,
Mhm.
like I would have no problem with that. You asked me out on a date, I found you interesting, let's go on
Yeah.
this date.
Yeah.
It's really like a no strings attached. It's just a first date. We're just literally meeting each other for the first time.
Mhm.
If he so like some like red flags that I
Yeah.
look out for on these dates, right, is if
Mhm.
it like you for me, like you have to pay attention to like how much like the guy initiates the conversation and how much of like his answers to your questions are similar to yours.
Mhm.
um and also like how does he like how does he interact with you like when you I don't know, just like have really deep conversations about like your families or whatever, your jobs. But like if he were to even like make a hint at the end of the date, like kind of insinuating that I owe him something other than my time, that's a big turn off for me. Like I wouldn't go on a second date. Cause to me that shows like if he was expecting something physical from me, and this is just the first date, we're literally meeting for the first time. I don't know you yet. We're basically strangers. That's kind of weird that you expect me to do something physical for you. Um, and now we live in COVID times. Like there's a thing called personal space. Like I don't know you like that. You know what I mean? Um, yeah.
No. Yeah. Like I said, you don't have to. Like I said, it doesn't have to be sex. But I'm just saying is like, uh, at least show him some kind of some kind of so he can see that you're interested
I
in
mean,
him.
yeah, I
Yeah.
can do that verbally, but like also another thing that I think more women should look out for is when they set boundaries, like personal boundaries with like a partner or like a significant other or even just someone they're dating for the first time. It's really important that you pay attention to how he reacts to those boundaries because, you
Okay.
know, like a good man will respect them no matter what. It's
Okay.
like, yeah,
Well, what about
that's how
this?
I feel.
Okay, so since we're in the dating culture of no, because the reason why I think for a lot of men, especially modern day dating, because everybody is just the modern day today's modern day dating, everybody's having sex, right? So everybody is having sex today,
Yeah.
right? So I think for a lot of guys today, because they understand this is the sexual marketplace today, is everybody's having sex. And now if I'm with a woman that I know is having sex, or I know that she has a sexual history, or if I'm known that that has had sex on the first date before, and I invest my resources into this woman, and she doesn't want to give up sex for me when I've known that she's done this with other men before. I think for a lot of men, they like, I'm wasting my time.
Yeah.
If you're a woman, you know that you're known to have sex, and you've known to have sex on dates, you've known to have sex on the first date also, and you're not willing to do that because that's unless, like I said, outside of like very traditional women who have morals, have values, they want to wait for the to get married and lose virginity for the first husband. Like outside of those type of women, I'm just talking about like the average modern day woman today that's sexually active, just having sex with men, and men also just having sex with women. That's why for a lot of guys are looking for sex. If I'm willing to take you out, knowing that I know you or I've heard that you have had sex with men before, then if I'm gonna invest my time into you, then that's why they believe that my expectation for you is to give up sex because you've done it before with other men and you've done it before on the first date. So, and if I'm investing time and money, then there should be expectation that you're gonna have,
I disagree with that. A
should be
woman's
should be a
sexual
sex.
No, a woman's sexual history should have nothing to do with the way you act with her. or
Yeah.
what you expect of her. That's not fair, because you could turn that around and, you know, like if I knew
No,
someone that was a player
no, I'm not
and
saying
like,
she has to do it. I'm saying is a man. I don't see a problem with the man expecting her to have sex with her. But like I said, it's her choice if she wants to, right?
oh, it's
Yeah,
completely
yeah,
her choice. It's
yeah,
entirely her
yeah.
choice
That's
in
what I'm saying.
general.
But that's what I'm saying is that's what I'm saying is. But I don't have a problem with men expecting for the woman to have sex because the women expect the men to pay for everything. So if there's gonna be exchange or
Yeah, I
reciprocation.
disagree with that viewpoint. Sorry, that's just
No,
me
no,
though.
no. I understand that. Like, we can agree to disagree. But I'm saying is in today's modern day, when everybody's having sex, for a guy, is like, okay, if he's with a woman that has a lot of sex and he's investing his time and you're not willing to have sex with me and I'm giving my time and I'm known, and then for me, it's like, is it wise for me to continue to keep taking on a date and not giving me sex? Because if you're not giving me sex to me, then he knows already, like, you're going to give it to somebody else, if that makes sense. Because if you're not gonna give it to me, you're not gonna stop having sex. You're just still gonna give it to somebody else. So for a lot of guys,
Yeah,
like,
but then yeah, it's also up to you, right? Do you want to keep giving your time to someone that probably doesn't
yeah, that's
want you
all.
in that way? It
But
goes both ways.
yeah, but like, but that's what I'm saying is like, that's why there is. That's what I'm saying is like, I know you brought up the question, why do men think that they should expect sex from women today's modern day dating? But I'm just explaining that's why. I don't like I said, even if girls today are sexually active, they're having sex with multiple men and they're having sex on the first date, because the guy is investing his financial money into it. I don't think I don't see a problem with him expecting sex. But like I said, if she doesn't want to give it up, then he's probably, I think the best bet to do is just move on to the next person, because there's a lot of women out there that's going to use you for your money. So and then have sex with another man, and then you just end up wasting your money, and then she's not even giving you the sex that you wanted. She's giving it to another guy, so you're losing as a guy. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm just answering. I'm just responding to your when you said like, why do guys expect sex? Because that's the dating culture today. Because everybody, we know
It
outside.
is. It just doesn't make it right though, because I feel like that's a very toxic way of how you view these interactions with other people. That's just me.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just saying. Yeah. Well, like I said, is if the woman says, "Hey, take me out, pay for everything," and I want you to, and of course, for a lot of women, they have different standards of where they want to be taken out, right? So like, they want to go to a nice restaurant, they want to do, they want to lavish, they don't want to eat at a taqueria. So these women, sometimes a lot of modern women, they want a nice spot. So for a guy to invest that type of money, um, a lot of guys, well, all right, if I'm going to do all of this for you, and we live in the dating culture today, and I know you as a woman, you're having sex with multiple guys, then that's why they have that mentality. And if they take you out and do all of this, and they ghost you, and then go with somebody else, the guy's like, wow, I just wasted like $300 for a date. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's why men
Yeah,
think
but
that
you
way.
chose to go on that date in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, it's not entirely on her that you lost. I think the idea of winning and losing is also very toxic.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah.
that's why a lot of guys is like, you know what? If you're not gonna give me, that's why a lot of guys, you see it nowadays, like the a lot of guys like, if you're not giving up sex, I'm not paying for anything. That's why
Yeah,
like,
it's like very fucked up the way that that goes, right? Because a lot of men do feel like do think of dating like that.
yeah,
Um,
but I would say it is fucked up also if a woman accepts to go on a date with you, already decided in her mind that I'm just wasting this guy's time, and I don't even, I like, she's wasting her time. She doesn't like you. She's just using you for your money, and she just wants a free meal. So that at the same
yeah.
time, so that's why it goes both sides. So that's why that's fucked up also, right? So that's why I understand for a lot of guys, like, if they say, hey, if you don't give me sex, I'm not paying, because they understand there's women out there that like will use you for your money and then and have sex with somebody else. So that's the culture. That's where we have evolved to. That's where we've come to today in modern dating. It's crazy.
It is crazy. Yeah, dating is rough these days. I agree.
Yeah. So that's why I say is like, I think that's why I always, like, for me, I believe it's reciprocation. Like, if you want to make sure you avoid, both men and women, if you want, from speaking from the man's perspective, if you want to avoid with women that's going to waste your time and waste your resources, And just because like, because you don't know if she's talking to another guy. The best way for men, I would say, is like she has to invest to me in some kind of sexual attention, or either we have sex or let me know sexually that you're interested. Like, because we don't, because like I said, this is an era now where you don't know, right? Social media, everybody's dating, talking to 5, 10 people, different options. You just don't know. So the best way for the best way to go about it is to make sure, as a man, like, how do you really know a girl is really really interested in you? If 90% of women today in America is sexually active, like, how do you really know?
Yeah, but it just goes back to it, right? I was just saying, you just ask her. Like you just ask her if she's into you. It's
Yeah, I
that
know, but
simple.
yeah, I know, but people can lie though, right?
Yeah, but like, like you can tell if someone's gonna be an honest person or not. You just can tell with their energy. Like you just ask. That's all you have to do. You can't assume like, oh, just because she's dating, like going on dates with multiple men, and I'm also on that
And
roster that she's like
yeah,
going on these dates with. Like you just ask her.
yeah, but what I'm saying is like a lot of people lie, right? So like those girls that do go on dates and waste your time, they're gonna lie and tell you everything you want. Already in their mind, they already made a preconceived intention decision that I'm just gonna waste this guy's time. This is already she already
Yeah,
decided before
but
the day.
yeah, I
So
mean
she's gonna
also if
so if you ask her,
yeah,
she's gonna lie to you. Yeah.
right, if you I feel like if you know that you're being lied to just based on like interactions and how off, like if you guys text a lot, if the texts aren't coming as frequently, she's probably either getting busy with work or like she's probably going on dates with other people. But it's also up to you whether you want to invest any more of your time into this connection, into building this connection,
Yeah.
and also not, right? It's also on
Yeah.
you to want to pursue that or not pursue that.
Yeah. Well, but that's what I'm saying is like, because that's the thing. Like, for me, it's just like because of there's so much manipulation, right? Both men and women, right? Both men and women can be
Yeah.
manipulative. A lot of people can lie. So you have to go. So we can't go off by words alone because people will lie and tell you everything you want to hear. So the best way to see it is through actions. Like, actions means a lot more than words. So for women, a guy that's willing to take you out and do everything you want for the day, regardless of what restaurant, that shows this guy's like he's serious. Like he wants to pursue you. And then for guys, like how does he know this woman is serious about me, not wasting my time, not manipulating me, not just telling me I'm the guy of her dreams and everything I want to hear. For guys, the way they can know is sexual energy and attention, because women will only show sexual energy and attention to the man they really, really like. If a woman really, really likes you, she'll show you that. If she doesn't show you that at all, well, there's a high probability that you may not be the one, and she may be wasting your time. So it's all about like probabilities. Like, what is the highest probability for you to know that you're not wasting your time, especially in this dating world where everybody's sexually active, and then there's a lot of manipulation, there's a lot of lying going around. So that's why for guys, like that's the only way for them to know if a girl is serious, is if she's willing to give him sexual attention or energy or sex. That's the only way we can know. Outside of that, if we all go by your words, it's a lie. For the same thing with girls, like a guy can say anything, but unless he's willing to pay for you, that's how you know for a woman, like, oh, this guy's really serious about you. You can say, yeah, I'll take you out, I'll do it. Unless he does it. Then oh, he has transportation, he planned it out, he's really willing to take you to a nice restaurant. Like it's like action. So yeah, like I said, that's just where we have evolved to. So that's why we have got to a point now where guys like, if she's not willing to give me sex, I'm not paying. And for women, they're like, all right, if you're not paying, I'm not willing to give you sex. So when you do finally meet somebody that reciprocates that, then that's like the highest probability that you can tell, okay, she's giving me sexual attention, he's paying for me, we are compatible, we're open, we're transparent. Maybe this is the best chance for me that this is gonna lead somewhere. And I think that's just like the hardest part. Is just like how can I filter out for guys, how they can filter out the girls that's wasting their time, and then for girls, like, how can I filter out the guys that are wasting my time? Yeah.
Also, too, I think not like in addition to like paying attention to like physical energy like that, also just being aware about like how often she's communicating with you or he's communicating with you
Yeah.
Is also equally as important.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like compatibility, communication.
Yeah, and like, are your
You know.
lifestyles similar or are they
Yeah.
different to where are they so different where you have to put in like extra effort just to see them?
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. I totally understand that, but that's for like the long term. I'm just talking about like just on the first date or 2, 3 dates, just to like see, okay, if this person is not wasting my time, right? So I think for girls, if the guy's consistent, always willing to show up on dates to take you out. I think for a lot of girls, that shows you the guy is consistent and willing to take you on the dates. Because if the guy doesn't like you, just ghost, right?
Yeah,
Right?
I
Yeah.
know that
Yes.
all too well.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's why when guys keep asking you out on dates, they keep taking you out on dates. That's a clear indicator that guy is committed. And for guys, like, because how do we know that she's willing to show commitment is when a woman gives me sexual attention and energy or sex. That's how I know that
It's not
if
just
she's
that
committed.
too. I think if she like initiates the date, that's a good sign. That's usually a good sign that she's like actually genuine about wanting to build a connection with you.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
that's the good girls, because the good girls will do that, right? The good girls will reciprocate it. So like when you meet women who are the good women, they don't really have to go to like they don't really have to show like go to sex to show reciprocation. The good women will reciprocate it. I enjoyed your time. Can we do it again? Right?
Mhm.
So can we do it again? So, but the girls is gonna waste your time. They won't do that. They'll just like disappear, and then you have to initiate everything, and then they'll just say yes because like they just want a free meal. And for a lot of guys, they don't understand this. So that's why a lot of guys like,
Yeah, but then I feel like if you're already seeing that type of behavior like build up as a pattern with that girl, like you have the obligation to like just be
yeah,
exit
yeah,
out of that situation for
yeah,
yourself, for your
hmm
own
yeah,
sanity.
yeah,
I
because
think also it's just being aware of like, but yeah, like being aware of like any behavior patterns that exist with like that person that you're noticing.
yeah. Like for me, like I mean, if I take her on a date, and she doesn't have to give me like I would be expecting sexual attention and sex, but if she there's other ways that good women will show you, like they're like, you know what, they'll plan a date next time. You know what, thank you for taking me
Right.
on a date. And she'll plan a date. I'm like, for me, I'm like, oh, okay, I guess, okay, that you're at least you're reciprocating something, right?
Right.
But the thing is, if they're not reciprocating anything, then what do you have to go off by? Then the only thing you have to go off by is like
Hmm.
sex or sexual attention or energy. Right. So the good woman will reciprocate it in other ways, but like I said, for those women that's gonna waste a man's time, like that's what then you have to fall back to that if they're not showing you any kind of reciprocation at all.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's just yeah, it's interesting dating culture today.